Previously on the story of the Ghost Prison, following a coup by Imperial Headmaster Gentis, which saw the Emperor mortally wounded, Moff Tractor, Darth Vader, and Lieutenant Loretta Tom travel to the old Jedi prison to avoid any of Gentis' rebels from attempting to kill the Emperor whilst he was weakened. Whilst Gentis attempts to push his coup forward, Tom hatches a plan to release the prisoners to take back Coruscant from Gentis' troops. Whilst Tom's initial plan was to simply release the prisoners and offer them all full pardons in exchange for fighting for them, Vader had a different plan. A free-for-all between all the prisoners, where the victors would gain the right to join the trio in killing Gentis. Now, this was a massacre, with all manner of Confederacy war criminals being engaged in a brutal melee. One who proved particularly skilled was ex-CIS sniper captain Sean Volter, who was arrested by Skywalker and Kit Fisto before being spirited away to the prison. Now, I may do a separate video on this character, she's really interesting and does have a relatively large part in the story, so if you would like to see that, do let me know in the comments below. Eventually, only a handful of the most cunning war criminals remained, from Jedi outcasts who turned to the Confederacy, cyborg assassins, kidnappers, and far more. They'd been left with only the most deadly of warriors. You all have blood on your hands, if not from today, then certainly from battles past. But the crimes you have committed, the lives you have taken, no longer matter, because we know you have been wronged by the old Republic. The selfish senators who waged war against the independent systems, and the arrogant Jedi who left you here to rot. This is not the way of the Empire. We fight not for honor or for glory, but order. And we kill our enemies quick and clean. So kneel before us and let the blood on your hands become a badge of honor. Let it make you loyal and brave. Let it make you fierce and unrelenting. And above all, let it make you Imperial. After the massacre in the courtyard, Tractor began training his new army. Meanwhile, Tom was confronted by surviving prisoners that were near death. Lord Vader, we have more survivors.
Kill him. No blasters. You must learn to conserve energy packs.
Vader handed Tom a large pipe and ordered him to end the prisoner's life using it, which he did. Meanwhile, Gentis on Coruscant prepared the finishing touches to his plan. It's revealed that Ensign Carl, one of Tom's old friends, is actually Carl Gentis, Gentis' son. Gentis has learned of the Emperor's pet project, the Death Star, which at this point was still in the early stages of development. He plans to arrest Grand Moff Tarkin upon his arrival to Coruscant and interrogate him and then execute him for crimes against the Empire, suggesting that he was planning on pinning the Emperor's assassination on Tarkin. From here, he had some relationships made with some influential Moffs who would declare him the new Emperor, ensuring a smooth transition of power. However, the trio had other plans. Tom requested aid from Captain Sean Volter, who was an experienced pilot, to calculate where a ship may exit hyperspace near Coruscant using the hyperspace lanes. Eventually, on Coruscant, Tarkin arrives to take control with only a small detachment of men, keeping majority of his troops back to defend the Death Star construction site, which was the biggest priority that the Empire had had at this point. Gentis, you welcome me back to Coruscant with children. Now that I am in command, I will need every single soldier. Take him alive. We can't interrogate his corpse. What madness is this? You were the insurgent. You're trying to claim the Emperor's throne? As Gentis prepared to have Tarkin taken away, interrogated and eventually killed, blaster fire erupts from the shuttle. The trio had managed to halt Tarkin's ship as it had exited hyperspace and hail it to meet. Here, they and their troops were able to stall aboard the ship and ambush Gentis, as they knew that he would be there to meet Tarkin. The Confederacy war criminals, combined with Darth Vader, Tractor and Tom, made short work. They were outnumbered 8-1, however the vicious warriors swept through the droves of Imperial officers with ease. They were the galaxy's most wanted not long ago. Tom even personally shoots his former friend and Gentis' son Carl. With this, Gentis' purpose for the plot is gone. His son is dead, and he can't be saved from the war that the Imperials would surely bring. Whilst Gentis holds his son's body, he is eviscerated by lightning. Sidious steps into the battlefield. Your reign is over, Headmaster. The coup was over. Gentis, his son, and the conspiring Moffs and Admirals were dead. Sidious was alive and he'd won. Lieutenant Tom was given responsibility for dealing with the Imperial prisoners. Trials seemed useless to him. They were lined up in the plaza and executed one by one by firing squad. Tractor was given the position as Grand Moff, the second in the entire Empire. As for the prisoners from the Jedi Prism, they were a different story. Tractor wanted to keep them, retrained them to be used by the Imperials, as they'd proven very capable in battle. However, Vader, who was responsible for many of their imprisonments in the first place, wanted them dead. Eventually, they settled on exile. However, as one final pledge of loyalty to Vader, Tom stored a bomb aboard the vessel. None survived, except for Sean Volter, who Tom arranged a full pardon for. Tom, now promoted to Admiral, was ready to take his task to follow Vader with utter loyalty, meeting him on the high levels of the Imperial Palace.
I have one lesson for you.
I would be grateful, my lord. Your advice, your mentorship, it means more to me than I can say.
Never suffer rivals.
With that, Vader threw Tom from the balcony, leaving him to plummet to his death. Sidious had planted the idea in Vader's head that Tom would be incredibly useful, and possibly even a worthy successor to Vader and many of his responsibilities. And that's how this story ends. I found this entire story to tell us a great deal about Vader after the rise of the Empire, how he really had immeasurable loyalty, but also his ruthlessness, how he would give anything to maintain his position and only cared about Sidious. The way he dealt with Tom, someone who was utterly loyal, really emphasised that he had no interest in allies. This behaviour is of course what would lead to him becoming hated by much of Imperial High Command. But what do you think of this story? Did you enjoy? If so, please remember to like, comment and sub for more content like this. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at The Lore Guy for regular updates. Thanks for watching, I really hope you enjoyed this and the other videos, and I'll see you next time.